Peace and blessings, family. While the world is being distracted by the Super Bowl 57, there's a lot of other things that's been going on today and also that occurred yesterday, I believe. So I'm going to let you guys look at these articles. And also in this first article that you guys see, the number 1548, we're going to look into that in the Strong Concordance, and I'll be back. Oh, I forgot to mention that we're going to also look into the number 1048 as well. All right, family, we're going to look at the number 1548, and it means in the Greek concordance, give in marriage. I give in marriage. And I also told you guys that we was going to look at the number 1048 that was in the article as well. And 1048 in the Greek concordance, Hebrew concordance, means a place of dispersion. And the only people that I know that was dispersed, which means scattered or, placed somewhere, was the original people of Israel. And we ain't got to go there. Sounds like to me, those wedding bells are starting to ring, family. Don't you think? What's really going on up there? All right, we're going to the next clip. So it says the FFA temporarily closed airspace above Lake Michigan due to national defense amid reports of a hovering object. Really? That's interesting. Could this hovering object been a UFO, or what we know as from scripture, the chariots of the Most High? You be the judge. On to the next clip. Okay, it says an F-16 shoots down an octagonal object over Lake Huron. Updated. And this was 5 hours ago that they released this article. Okay, in the next clip, I have some videos that you guys can watch here. And I think it's from the BBC News. So I'm going to let you guys watch this and I'll be back.
U.S. fighter jets have shot down an unidentified object over Alaska. The Pentagon says President Biden gave the order after it was detected yesterday. It's unclear what the object was, but officials say it was the size of a small car. Last week, a Chinese balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina, with Beijing saying it was a civilian device for monitoring the weather. Well, in the last couple of hours, the Pentagon gave this update.
North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now.
Well, our North America editor Sarah Smith is at the White House. Sarah, what's the latest?
Well, it is intriguing, Clive, how little they have been able to tell us about this object, and that's because the US authorities know very little about it at all. They admit they don't know what it was, whether it was a balloon or a drone or some other kind of object. They don't know what country it came from. They also admit that they've no idea who owned it, whether it was a nation or a corporation or an individual. They don't know what its purpose was, and they don't know whether it posed any kind of security threat. So why then, you might ask, did they move so swiftly to shoot it down? Well, it's worth noting that there has been a huge amount of criticism here in Washington about how long it took to shoot down that Chinese balloon that was floating across the country last week. Now, security officials say that is not why they moved so swiftly in this instance. It's because the object was at around 40,000 feet and a threat to civilian planes, and also because it floated over water, which meant they were able to take it down without the risk of any casualties on the ground. All President Biden has said about it is, it was a success.
Brigadier General Patrick.
Now, I'm sure you guys have heard about the UFO that was shot down in Alaska. Some of this interview was already played in the clip before, but this is the full interview. So I'll be right back.
Patrick S. Ryder at the Pentagon.
Top, and then we'll get right to your questions. So first of all, to add to information already provided earlier by the White House, at the direction of the President of the United States, fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command successfully took down a high-altitude airborne object off the northern coast of Alaska at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, within U.S. sovereign airspace over U.S. territorial water. On February 9, North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now. U.S. Northern Command's Alaska Command coordinated the operation with assistance from the Alaska Air National Guard, Federal Aviation Administration, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have no further details about the object at this time, including any description of its capabilities, purpose, or origin. The object was about the size of a small car, so not similar in size or shape to the high-altitude surveillance balloon that was taken down off the coast of South Carolina on February 4.
Question. Why aren't they talking about what happened over Lake Michigan and Lake Huron? Do you guys notice anything about that? It was reported in the news articles, but it didn't make headlines on media or the mass media. Sounds pretty sketchy to me. Maybe even a little bit of a cover-up, maybe? I don't know. So again, family, do you guys hear the wedding bells yet? I do. So have no fear, family. Our groom is near. Peace and blessings.